Hello, and welcome to this special Christmas episode of Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 9 of Chobits. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Alright, so last we left off, she got a job and her first paycheck. And there's a whole little bit about, what she should buy, seeing as how it is her money. Hideki's made that quite clear. Now, it is notable that she has not yet figured out how taxes work, and I suspect she's not going to be too happy about it when she does. But, the money's hers, she can buy what she wants, so it's gonna be a happy episode, right? I reckon it's kind of even odds. Because on the one hand, she might buy a book for herself, seeing as how she seems to like him. On the other hand, I feel like she might buy a well-intentioned gift for Hideki, but one that's ultimately maybe a little bit suspect. Although, if she's looking at study guides... Oh. Oh no. Man, Hideki has a lot of girly magazines. Oh. Man, I thought for a second she would buy him that English dictionary, but yeah, no, she's buying him a magazine. And man, that book again. It definitely isn't good that upon seeing it she sort of zones out, Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel like Hideki's learned the wrong lesson here, because as intelligent as she ostensibly is, maybe you should supervise her a little bit more for the time being, especially seeing as how she saw fit to buy a girly magazine. Not that that's, the worst thing she could be doing, but I don't know. Maybe it would behoove Hideki to, teach her to spend her money a little more wisely. Yeah, it is good to buy a gift for someone, but, just because someone likes a thing doesn't mean it makes for an appropriate gift, So, interesting. They're going to, a public bath, which is, a bit of a common thing, but already I'm having, visions dancing through my head of Chi coming to the public bath, too, and causing a bit of a nuisance. Because, I guess, if nothing else, she probably doesn't understand all the strict social rules that govern the public bathhouse. Ooh. Alright, Hideki's neighbor's making a good point here. It's look, there's no sense in fretting about it. And, I guess that is true. Ooh. Okay, so you bathe the Persicam. What the hell? Okay, I feel like, Huh. Okay, I'm utterly bewildered because I feel like you shouldn't submerge a computer in water. Like, if you're going to quote-unquote bathe the Persicom, you should probably use, like, isopropyl alcohol and wipes and something like that. Like, you shouldn't, like, take it to the bath, you know? You know, this is probably something Hideki could teach Chi to do, but... I know where this is going. Man. Yeah, most Persicoms, you just install like a little cleaning software and they learn how to do it themselves, but oh boy, not Hideki, not Chi. Man. You know, I guess this does raise an issue regarding Chi and other Persicoms. Like, do they have like siliconized rubber skin? Because, like, I feel like, I suppose it would collect like dirt and germs and stuff like that, so cleaning it regularly probably isn't a bad idea, but man. Yeah, so, you know, I'm wondering if Hideki, in the process of teaching Chi to become self-sufficient, is going to teach her some more bad lessons. Because I feel like she might learn a little bit too literally in a situation where, you know, there are certain key anatomical differences. You know, I'm almost reminded of Dr. Slump almost, where Arale, the little android character, doesn't have human anatomy and is dismayed by it. But the anatomy in question is a belly button. Ooh. Okay, so this is an interesting instance of Hideki learning the wrong lesson here. You know, he thinks it was okay she was going by herself because she was buying a gift for him, which isn't strictly true, but, I don't know. I'm trying to think this through here. Like, I think it's better that Hideki's like, okay, you did the right thing, rather than accompany her and she has to, like, learn to lie about whether or not the gift is for him. Because, like, when you get down to it, I think if there's something you shouldn't teach something like Chi, you know, an artificial intelligence, you probably shouldn't teach it how to lie. Just because, you know, it's kind of like Pandora's box. Like, once the genie's out of the bottle, it's not going back in. And I feel like, you know, as with the rest of us, honesty is the best policy. Ooh. Okay, so he's telling her to, like, you know, take off your clothes, put them in a locker. Like, it's probably not a good idea to explain all this unless you're there, you know? Ooh, buddy. So, you know, Chi's heart was certainly in the right place, but, oh dear. Ooh. Yeah, you know that Hideki's sort of like hallucinating this. It doesn't bode well for any learning that'll go on. Ooh. Yeah. You know, I don't think I really blame Hideki for calling in a favor here. Just because, like, he's certainly not, like, in his right mind to help out here. You know, maybe if Hideki just, like, thought for, like, a little bit longer, could probably come up with, like, a clinical way of explaining things rather than, you know, getting all uncomfortable about it. So, something tells me, despite Chi learning from Sumomo here, something's going to be kind of lost in translation, if only because of, like, the size difference or something like that. And, you know, who's to say they're made of the same materials, too? Like, we don't know that they're, like, siliconized rubber or anything, but I feel like that's a good assumption. And it also seems like Sumomo downloaded, you know, something faulty. See, this is why you have to validate the information. I mean, already, like, Chi's learning the wrong thing. Ooh, freeware bathing software. That's a cursed statement. Okay. Okay, so there's the old cliche about, like, drinking milk afterwards, but, you know, that doesn't solve the initial problem. I feel like they really should be validating the software before they start running it, you know? So I feel like, despite spending the whole night ostensibly trying to figure this thing out, like, they haven't really succeeded. So, unfortunately for Hideki, he might just have to, you know, suck it up and teach her himself, no matter how uncomfortable it is for all involved. Now, I do hope this isn't like a little bit of foreshadowing, like, oh, we'll bathe after work, you know? Like, it'd be really bad if she got, like, sent home for poor hygiene or something. Especially seeing as how she works at a bakery. So I guess, the plot's thickening, you know. A Persicom expert calling you up and saying, hey, I want to talk about something, like, that doesn't necessarily bode well. And I guess the fact that he doesn't really disclose what he wants to talk about over the phone, like, that's kind of mysterious too. Probably not a good thing, I'd imagine. Well, in fact, it probably relates to the incident the other day. Wow. You know, I feel like this is a rather pedestrian problem to bring to an expert here, but, yeah, wow. Alright, it turns out, the simplest solution is the best. Like, you just have to teach it yourself, dude. I mean, I guess that is the other issue. Like, no software is going to be perfect, and if you do have to pay for it, like, you know, if it's something you can do yourself, like, why pay for software? You know, I think he is sort of overlooking the upside that, like, she's happy to spend time with him regardless of the circumstance. You know, that's not something to take for granted, I wouldn't think. Okay. So I guess finally there's a bit more information about what she is. But it's interesting that Minoru didn't lead with this, you know? I feel like this is slightly more important information than, like, how to properly bathe. You know, I mean, sure, he was, like, chatting on, like, a Persicom forum, but, like, I don't know. I feel like any information on the custom-built nature of Chi is, rather important. Man, how classic is it that all these forum replies are totally unhelpful? You know, it probably doesn't help that Hideki isn't especially computer literate when all this information is being given to him. Woo. Okay, so that's one of the images I've seen. Alright, the plot's thickening, because, you know, by all available information, that is Chi, but she seems to be plugged into something. So, it seems to me whoever has that picture was somehow involved in her creation or something like that, but that doesn't really answer a lot of questions, and it is kind of sinister. Okay, so the return address is no longer functional. That's interesting. And the idea is perhaps it's a fake email address that can't be traced back. Now, I guess the question is, does she have those marks on her, or was it just drawn in Sharpie or something? Because I feel like if she's depicted as having those marks, maybe you should check for yourself. It would be a pretty big indicator, I feel like. Man, plot's getting real thick, and I feel like it's gonna be hard to just go back to normal, everyday slice of life stuff. Yeah, I mean, for a Chobit to be just a super powerful artificial intelligence computer, that's one thing, but she seems to be even a bit more than that. I mean, when everything sort of hit the fan a few episodes ago, she basically bricked everyone within a certain radius of her. That almost indicates to me that she's some kind of a weapon, or at least has capabilities that could be weaponized. I'm almost reminded in a weird way of the Iron Giant, in the sense that, you might be created as a weapon, but if you have sapience and free will, you don't have to be a weapon, You can choose who you are, in a sense. So I guess moving forward, I can only hope that Hideki helps Chi choose to be a good person. Now, I don't blame Hideki for trying to teach her everything, but I feel like maybe it would be best to learn while there. Because you can't really explain a bathtub without it being there in front of you, Because saying it's like a swimming pool gives the wrong impression, because as I understand it, it's kind of poor form to swim in the bathtub. Ooh. So is he just leaving her to go on her own? I guess it makes sense it would be gender segregated, but man, I don't think it's a good idea to let her just do all this on her own, at least not the first time. I mean, I guess I don't know what the solution would be aside from finding a place with mixed bathing, but even then, I don't know. Maybe there really is no good way, but oh dear. So I guess whether she misunderstood or whether she just wants to spend time with Hideki, it doesn't really matter. She doesn't seem to be getting it entirely. Ooh. Yeah, maybe that was some bad advice, that you should watch other people and copy them without explaining it a little bit more. Ooh. Okay. So that's interesting. That's a little bit of defiance. No, I don't want to go in there. I want to stay with you. Which, man, can he really deny her? Ooh. How fortuitous is it that somebody just happened to run along to help him out? Especially someone so utterly trustworthy. I feel like maybe he should have asked a little bit earlier. That could have avoided a bunch of trouble. Oh. Oh dear. Unfortunately, Chi doesn't really have a filter, just spouting off about those magazines. I feel like he really shouldn't let her look at those. Not that he's explicitly doing that, but maybe just, like, hide them, like, really well. Maybe, like, prep a floorboard and hide them there or something. So I feel like if Hideki were to compliment her appearance, you know, it's understandable, of course, but I feel like it might cause more problems in the long run. I guess if only because they keep bringing up that book here and then about, you know, love and having to leave and all that. Ooh. Is Hideki gonna show her the picture saying, like, hey, is this you? Like, man, I don't know what you could possibly make of that, but I feel like worst case scenario, it might unlock some, like, you know, developer mode or something. Like, she sort of goes kind of catatonic again. So it's interesting that she recognizes it's not herself, you know, but I don't know if she's necessarily a good judge of that. I mean, Hideki's relieved, understandably so, but it might be a bit premature. Like, I don't know if she necessarily has, like, the necessary powers of discrimination to be able to tell, like, okay, no, that looks like me, but it isn't me. Oh, it's a continuation of the book. Okay. So it's another mysterious picture book. Yeah, maybe you should be careful telling her she can just buy whatever she wants from now on. Because, you know, like, you'd have to, like, budget and save your money, too. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. Merry Christmas, Space Cowboy.